One of the main ones, of course, this year was cookies. And we're talking about obviously, third party cookies for the most part. And hot topic, gonna be a hot topic for a little while. But give us some key takeaways. I know for me, with the loss, which it hasn't quite happened yet, but it's been a bit of a progression of third-party cookies. We lost our what they called rented relationships, but we gained a wide opportunity to start building back real relationships with that we earn and that we stop borrowing. So kind of talk more about that and a little bit more about what you learned in these classes and what people were saying about the loss of cookies and how we're going to handle it.
For sure. One awesome perspective that was shared was going through the history of what a cookie is, and that it all started out being a first-party cookie. We didn't start out, come out of the gate and have third-party cookies. It was someone goes to your website, they have shown interest, they have either, given the email or you tag their browser with the cookie. But as the industry grew, companies began selling that information. And it was good, it worked for a while, but then as it advanced, there weren't as many regulations placed on it. And it got pretty invasive for a lot of people. It passed that threshold where people felt comfortable with it. So voices were raised and people showed that concern. And now platforms are saying, browsers specifically, like Chrome, Safari, Firefox, are all saying, we're not going to do this anymore. We're going to try to find a way to cut out third-party cookies all together. And that scared a lot of people, marketers specifically, because that's what they used to target. But my perspective is not really a bad thing, because of course the stronger people out there, people who really know what they're doing, are going to be able to get through this and become stronger from it. So one thing that helps me sort of sleep at night is I know Facebook and Google and other big old companies out there are coming up with ways to rent that relationship, to buy and use their targeting. So we'll have to figure out how these work, and because these are new platforms, are crazy, they're going to shift. They don't know what they're doing still, and cookies have been told they're going to go away for a while. But as long as we stick to those core values and strategies that we've been doing forever, ensuring we hit the right people at the right time with that right message, really, though the platforms will change, though targeting will be different, because it's still going to be there, it's going to be different. As long as we have those core strategies, we'll be able to get through this. And that sort of goes into what Alexie said. Are we inviting people to have a conversation? Are we going to move from renting that relationship to having that conversation? And it really came to the idea of permission marketing versus interruptive advertising. And interruptive advertising, you just call that advertising because it's what we've been doing. It's nothing crazy, nothing new. It's your TV, your social media, radio, billboards, print. It's what we've been doing, and we're interrupting someone's flow. They're watching a show and then we pop up and sell our product. And that's how it's been, is how it will continue to be. But we are interrupting somebody. So it's not going to be as efficient as someone going to have that conversation with us or looking at an email and saying, oh, they reached out to me. I'll open that and figure out what they're talking about. Where I would love a deal because I love that clothing brand. So if we're interrupting people, that message just isn't as strong and people are avoiding it just because they don't like it. And when you go to the flip side, you have that permission marketing is we're hitting somebody after they've interacted with us and they've shown enough interest and signed up for an email, gone to our website, given us their phone number, that they merit more marketing. They said, hey, I'm interested in you and I want more information. So this is key. And the big part of that is when we go back to the cookies, with third-party cookies going away, first-party data is all the rage. And it's what you need to be focusing on entirely. So when people go and show interest in you and you're ready to do some permission marketing and market towards them, having that first-party data available to you, phone numbers, names, addresses, gathering as much of that up as you can as possible. And then that gives you an amazing opportunity to reach out to your customer who has already said, I like you enough to give you an email or give you a phone number. And this is just going to, the engagement that you see on these ads, the emails will just blow your expectations because You're not renting that relationship. You're not interrupting them. They have shown you permission. They've given you permission, and you're able to market to them efficiently. Now, the big takeaway here, I'm not saying get rid of ads, because that's sort of, I know we love ads. That's sort of what we do. It's a lot of our bread and butter, but we need to be able to reach out and gather people, and we'll pull them back in, and the people who want to come with us will come with us. And then we'll curate that conversation with them and build that relationship and have that permission marketing. So it was a combination of reaching out and bringing them in and then having that conversation. In the same light, just a way to help bring that home. Imagine you're a high school student and a college comes out to you and says, hey, you should apply. You don't know who they are. You don't care who they are. And I don't know what programs you have. What are the bears? I don't know what the bears are. Why are you telling me I should become a bear? You need to know who they are. You need to have a representative of the college come and talk to you. You need to go to their website, look up some videos, and understand who they are, because college isn't cheap. So you're going to make sure you know who they are before you purchase. The same thing, say you're going to buy a tractor. Tractors aren't cheap. And if they don't know who you are and they don't know what you do and why they should buy from you, they're probably not going to. So we need to reach out. We need to raise awareness through advertising and then bring them in to have that conversation.
Yeah, and I think it's funny to look back when this announcement that cookies were going away kind of initially happened, and most people, I think, saw it coming, but it sounded so scary at first. And I know Alex has always said, and our leadership has always reminded us as marketers, we should never be too comfortable, because whenever you start relying and depending on, certain technology and certain methods, the harder it is to adapt to change. And kind of going back to the term rented relationships, whenever you're using this cookie data and you're renting this relationship, you don't really have any contact info on the person behind the cookie. You had to pay for it. You didn't earn it. And like Nik said, they didn't show interest. They're not. And after all, the people we really want are the people who have shown interest and want to learn more, want to listen to us. So I think this loss has given brands kind of forced them into this awesome opportunity, honestly, to start building back real relationships that they are earning. And I think through this, there's great opportunity to get to know more about the site visitors. You can control the conversation medium, and you can stop relying on rented relationships and focus on building your own. And you have the phone number, you have the email address, and this is really easy to do through, a CRM or lead management program like Nurture. If we kind of focus on zero and first party data, we can ask those questions right when they get to us. We can collect this data, we can draw conclusions from it, and this will help foster ultimately a long-term relationship other than just targeting cookies.
Absolutely. I think the balance between interruptive marketing and, that permission marketing is something that as marketers, we have to find, something that as the experts of our industry, we need to find, because they're both necessary, because I can't have a conversation with you until I know who you are. So that brand marketing needs to be interruptive. It needs to say, here I am. And then from there, having that conversation and going into the next step, we also need to be experts in that part of it as well.